Good evening. The arrival of COVID-19 outbreak has provoked humanity to rethink about their life. What are we doing? Where are we going? Is it correct paradigm that humanity is choosing? Are we giving so much emphasis for only human interest at the risk of sidelining other creatures? We talk only about human democracy. Democracy means it's human democracy. Only humans have rights. It's about human interest. It's about human freedom and liberty. It's about human progress, development. It's about human redemption and salvation. Only human. Nothing else. 100% anthropocentric. That is democracy. But today, COVID-19 has made us more wise. Actually, it is an awakening. It's time to think about higher democracy, not human democracy. Human democracy is just fragmenting the whole universe and putting in a small box. Only human. By putting in a small box, you are alienating yourself and you become an orphan. Human interested philosophies, theologies. It's a kind of orphan making. You are coming away. You become an exile. You are an exile. You don't belong to the family of other creatures. You alienated yourself. So today we are talking about a new word called cosmic democracy. Cosmic democracy, in which human democracy is also included. Cosmic democracy. Gospel of John, chapter 3:16. God so loved the world that he sent his only Son. It is not God so loved humans that he sent his only Son. Remember that. So, the God's mission was cosmic democracy. It is salvation of the whole universe. Yeah, not only humans. Humans is part of the world, what Bible talks about. God so loved the world. So humans make a small part of that world. But so far, we have taken everything. Only he came to save humans. Hell with other creatures. No. Only humans. Cosmic democracy also can be understood with another beautiful word, just evolving. It is called cosmocracy. Democracy, it's about human interest. Cosmocracy, it's about creation-centered, biocentric interest. Living in harmony with all beings is flexibility. It is a kind of cosmic democracy here on earth. We are at the epicenter of dramatic global changes politically and culturally. I'm talking about COVID-19 outbreak. Is the turmoil on earth a sign that things are spinning out of control? Here, we on earth used democracy for our own purposes at the expense of other species and the environment. How can we as individuals have any influence on such momentous events? On a more personal level, what is the meaning of your life? What is the meaning of your life? That is what COVID-19 is asking you. Where is your place in the world and in the cosmos? We have not found our role to fit in the cosmos. Every creature plays a role and they are clear about their role, but humans alone, Homo sapiens, they don't know about their role. So they never establish a belongingness in the cosmos. That's why they are exiles. They are outside looking at the show unfolding. They are only spectators. Humans are not participants. Only spectators, not participants. Sad. Anyway, so many questions abound, but where do we find the answers? Cosmocracy means having control or ruling the whole universe. It is not ruling India, ruling America, ruling European Union, ruling even Earth, ruling even solar system, even ruling Milky Way galaxy. But it's the ruling of the whole cosmos, which include billions and billions of universes and also multiverses. It implies only one ruler. Cosmocracy implies only one ruler. This word is commonly used in reference to God's dominion over creation. And this dominion implies God's justice towards all living and non-living elements in the universe. Psalm 24:1 declares, "Earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it." It is placed in a sharp contrast with the human democracy, where the attention is focused on human alone. Democracy is about the declaration of independence, but cosmocracy is about the declaration of dependence, interdependence. I depend on you, I depend on soil, and animals depend on us. Declaration of dependence. Democracy is about freedom, but cosmocracy is about surrender to God, the cosmocrat. Democracy is about a relative authority, but cosmocracy is about an absolute authority, that is God. Democracy is about a human master, but cosmocracy about a cosmocrat who is the Lord or ruler of the universe, or God, the Prince of the universe. Democracy is about human subjects, but cosmocracy is about everything, the living and the non-living components in the universe. Cosmocracy is about our blood brothers and sisters. But cosmocracy is about the Father or the Abba. And everything in the universe, God, human, and the whole of creation. Democracy is about our own human dominion, but cosmocracy is about God's sovereign administration and preservation of the cosmic order that He had created. Actually, American passionist priest Father Thomas Barry, he is the proponent of this term cosmic democracy. He is a brilliant theologian. He doesn't call himself a theologian, he calls himself a geologian. He says that every being has rights to be recognized and revered. Trees have tree rights, insects have insect rights, rivers have river rights, frogs have frog rights, snakes have snake rights, soil have soil rights, mountains have mountain rights. So too with the entire range of beings throughout the universe, all rights are limited and relative. Thus, Thomas emphasized that every component of the earth community, living and the non-living, has three rights. One, the right to be. Number two, the right to habitat or a place to be. And the three, the right to fulfill its role in the ever-renewing processes of the earth community. This position has been foundational for many of those involved in formulating and making operational an effective rights of nature approach rooted in Earth's jurisprudence. Similar perspectives have arisen in the contemporary period with scientific understanding of the interdependence of Earth systems, particularly in ecology. Thus, by drawing on both indigenous and the scientific knowledge, Earth jurisprudence is arising to respond to the needs of the larger community of life. In 2008, Ecuador, the country in South America, Ecuador, citizens voted 2/3 in support of a new constitution that says natural communities and ecosystems possess the unalienable right to exist, flourish, and evolve within Ecuador. Those rights shall be self-executing, and it shall be the duty and right of all Ecuadorians, communities, governments, and individuals to enforce those rights. Bolivia has recently amended its constitution to enshrine the philosophy of living well. In their language, in Spanish, it is called bon vivre. Bon vivre, that means living well, as a means of expressing concern with the current model of development and signifying affinity with nature and the need for humans to recognize inherent rights of the earth and other living beings. On 22nd April 2010, Bolivia promoted an earth-centered model in the Universal Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth, would protect biological diversity as a global commons and a strictly managed and more equitably shared public trust. The commons approach is very old and based on the notion that common heritages such as the atmosphere and the oceans, fresh water and genetic diversity cannot belong to anyone. In most traditional societies, it was assumed that what belonged to one belonged to all. Many indigenous societies to this day cannot conceive of denying a person or a family basic access to food, air, land, water, and livelihood. In your country, there are global commons, mountains, rivers, grasslands, tropical rainforest. All of them are global commons that belong to everyone, not only humans, all creatures, the living and the non-living. And also the government of Argentina recently moved to protect its glaciers, that is icebergs, by banning mining and oil drilling in ice zones in southern part of Argentina like Patagonia. The law sets standards for protecting glaciers and surrounding ecosystems and creates penalties for harming the country's fresh water heritage. Excellent, Argentina. Then we come to Laudato Si. Pope Francis is talking about global commons and also God, Abba the Father, one who owns everything. Everything is copyrighted. Don't think mountains, they don't have a copyright. There is no owner for it. A forest, they don't have any copyright. Microscopic bacteria, mosquito, snake, all obnoxious creatures, they have a copyright. There is a father there. There is a protector. There's a Godfather. Remember that. Godfather is there. He will send people to take care of you if you misbehave. Alright? Laudato Si, paragraph number 89, Pope Francis writes as follows. The created things of this world are not free of ownership, for they are yours, O Lord, who love the living. From the book of Wisdom, chapter 11, 26 verse. This is the basis of our conviction that as part of the universe called into being by one Father, all of us are linked by unseen bonds and together form a kind of universal family, a sublime communion which fills us with the sacred, affectionate and humble respect. Here, I would reiterate that God has joined us so closely to the world around us that we can feel the desertification of the soil almost as a physical ailment and the extinction of a species as a painful disfigurement. Disfigurement. Brilliant writing from Pope Francis. He supports cosmic democracy. It is an upgrade from human democracy. We are progressing. So to conclude, I want to quote from Jesus Christ himself from Gospel of St. Matthew chapter 13 verse 24 to 30. It is called Parable of the Weeds, in which Jesus is telling, don't destroy the weeds. Don't destroy the weeds. You want only wheat? Take it. But don't destroy the weeds. They also have the rights to live. As Passionist priest St. Thomas Barry puts it so beautifully, 3 rights. To be, and also right to habitat. The last, a role to play. Your role for the fulfillment of the common good of the universe. So every creature plays a role for the common good of the whole ecosystem and the universe. So Jesus Christ 2000 years ago recognized the role of the weeds. Today we are destroying weeds, and we invented pesticides and chemicals to destroy weeds. Only wheat we want. But remember, weeds have the right to exist. The whole creation, they have rights. Now they are screaming out loud. I think COVID-19 is their lawyer, advocate, and he is supporting. I think he is going to win in the court of justice. Yeah. I think cosmic democracy is going to become true. So let me read the parable of Jesus Christ from Matthew chapter 13, verse 24-30. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. The servants asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them out?" "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling the weeds, you may uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. At the time, I will tell the harvesters, first collect the weeds and tie them in bundles to be burned. Then gather the wheat and bring it into my barn." Okay, my brothers and sisters, we need to thank COVID-19 for the awakening of a new concept called Cosmocracy, the cosmic democracy, in which everybody has rights, 3 rights: to be, to live in an habitat and flourish, no? And bring out your own young in the habitat. The last one is to fulfill your role for the common good of the planet. Thank you. Bye.